We gotta find a way to get in there and save that guy. So let's look around. I guess there's things here. We can plant a bomb spore. There's really not a whole lot there's really not a whole lot that can be done right here. And if you just want to go back, you can actually like warp back to the warp stone through here, but there's no reason to do that at this point. You know, unless you want to get another bomb spore or something. These fuel barrels, by the way, have a timed detonation on them. It's like if you hold them for too long, they'll blow up on you. Don't need to plant a bomb spore there though, because you can just blow it up with fuel. Fuel cell. Throwing scarabs to get the token. Huh?
Show me 20 scarabs, and I'll give you a cheat token.
We can't really afford to do that right now, so maybe we'll remember that later. But yeah, the cheats in this game, they're not really all that interesting. I guess they're worth mentioning, but there's some interesting ideas of what's worth unlocking. Yeah. Anyway, let's just pick up this fuel barrel. We can't break those black boxes with our staff, so let's try blowing them up. That works. And you can just... Also, speaking of the combo system, I forgot, depending on how you hold the control stick and your combinations of things, the buttons do different things, so that's how you can get different combos going. But in the end, it still just amounts to button mashing. So, that's the thing. Now that we've killed those guys, we can basically open up this door, just like we did the last one. It's early game stuff, so you're just basically just hitting switches. No, don't do that. C is not going to bring you to the regular. Hey.
Hey, Scaleface! Pick on someone your own size! I am Fox McCloud, lead pilot of the Star Fox team. I've come to take the prince back to his home. Hey, wait!
Well, we've helped him somewhat. Notice there's fuel cells that we just completely leave behind. You can get those if you fail this segment, but I think you can also come back up here anyway. So, big sequence there says accelerate with A, brake with B. If you crash into too much stuff or take too much damage from the mines that they're leaving, then your thing will blow up and you'll have to restart this segment. It's not that hard to do. There's a few more segments like it in the game. Basically, you just have to make it to the end, I think, before they do. Or take them both out, I guess, is an option. If you hit them enough times, they'll actually, their speeder things will actually explode. I don't know why it doesn't damage yours just as much as theirs, but... Or maybe it does. I don't know. But it is possible to fail this segment in various ways, I believe. You're basically just racing them to try and keep them from getting to the prince first. It's a thing that happens. There's not really a whole lot of explanation to a lot of things in this part of the game. What? And that's basically what happens if you fail. So, hooray, we get to go back up to the top of the mountain. And we can try again whenever we want. And we can also grab this. See, failing has its advantages sometimes. There's a couple fuel cells, so let's grab those and try this again. Now that we have a better idea of what we're doing and what we have to do, let's get after those fuels. So, also these are just called racers, I guess. I was thinking of this. I think I was thinking of the snow speeders from Star Wars, or whatever those things are called. Also, I just basically took a shortcut around both of them. You can just die. Well, that's one way of making sure you win this race. By just killing them both right from the start. This is just the introduction to this, though. There are some other things that you have to do with these later on that gets a little trickier. But for now, speaking of tricky, let's go down and see what he's up to down here at the bottom of this slope. Now let's take this path because we didn't take it last time. Wow, that was kind of scenic. I really don't know what to say right now because we've already done this basically, and now for a cutscene. So, and suddenly they're both alive still somehow, and we fall off a cliff into a frozen pond in slow motion. Or is that a frozen pond? It's actually not. I'm a dumbass.
Uwe sizbu aku kutuk fudu. Ay uwe rovekwat rodan. What? Uwe sizbu aku kutuk fudu. Ay uwe rovekwat rodan.
You got that translator ready?
I can't understand
Come
you.
on.
Uwe sizbu at Hot Spring, or you'd be frozen by now.
Why, you little...
Hey, I wouldn't if I were you. My dad's a king Earthwalker, and he'll bash you up.
Wow.
I don't think he'll be doing any bashing. He's been captured. That's why I've been sent to rescue you.
He's been captured?
That's right. It was your mother that sent me to find you.
Is she okay?
She'll be just fine. But we need to get you home.
No, that wasn't me eating sriracha peas during the cutscene. You're crazy. I swear. Anyway. We met a new friend here, I guess. And he seems to be thinking of mushrooms. I'm not sure what to think about that. Oh, hey, look, the map suddenly shows up. And we're no longer an ice mountain.
I'm hungry.
Okay, you're hungry, yes. We can imagine that. This gets into... Ow! One of the mechanics of this game is how Prince follows you around. And he's following us around now, I guess. Now that I actually walk off that screen. Let's go here. And basically, he wants you to catch him some living fungus. Well, like regular fungus isn't living, but these fungi things just kind of hop around, and you have to. Basically, you just have to smack them with your staff and pick them up, so that you can. So that you can feed them to this to.
Can you find
Prince.
any blue mushrooms? I'm feeling real tired.
It's basically, if you don't keep this guy fed, he won't be able to do anything. But if you do have some mushrooms in that mushroom meter there,
Look at this.
you can have him do things like
Fine.
dig up secrets. And yes, he does talk like that constantly. It even admittedly can get slightly annoying. You can also just have him stay, which doesn't actually take any extra energy. You just say, hold down this switch while I go and activate this one here. And now with that, we can move on. And somehow the gate stays up, even though he's no longer on that switch. Hooray for game logic. But now, even though he doesn't actually follow us down here and over these platforms, he'll still show up on the other side anyway. So don't think we've lost him. Not by a long shot. He always somehow finds your way back to you. There are only specific places in this game where he won't follow you. And those are highly scripted. You can also, if you feed him mushrooms,
Tasty.
you can have him dig through walls like this and basically build tunnels for you to crawl through. He does a lot of things important to this game, but it can be somewhat of a hassle sometimes to get him to try and get him to do what you want him to. But once you get to a certain point, you'll never run short of mushrooms, I promise you. There's plenty in the game. And now we are in the Snowhorn Wastes. And basically we've got some enemies to kill. Ow. The health item, of course, bounces around everywhere. Basically just smack the living daylights out of these things is how you handle them normally. When it's not nighttime, these things will bounce around and can be slightly annoying to catch. But you're going to want to try and catch as many of them as you can. So these things will sometimes pop up and hold your target. And they give you magic. I don't know exactly where I'm going right now. I'm just kind of going around doing stuff. Because doing stuff is a fun thing to do, I suppose. Okay. Let's go back up here. There's nothing more to do here, so let's just walk down towards the rest of the area. We can't go back up to the warp to get back to Thorntail Hollow, so we're gonna have to work our way back down there somehow. You can also use your Fire Blaster in combat as well, but unless you've got specific things like that, where you can, it's not as easy to do so as it is to just smack things with your staff. That looks like something. Oh, hey. And these shark claws are busy chasing the prince around. They can't kidnap him again. You got him. He's with you to stay, so you don't have to worry about it. But that doesn't mean we should ignore him. At least once we've gotten these fungi, we can go help him out. He'll be fine running around like that for a little bit. Let's just get some mushrooms. I'm not really a huge fan of mushrooms.
Stop this sharp!
Yes, but stop him. Don't worry.
Tricky, are you crazy? Just leave the sharp claws to me.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, Fox, if ever you need me to come back, you just use my heal command, and I'll be right with you, okay?
He's basically a puppy. Except he actually listens when you give him commands. Anyone who's ever raised a puppy will know that that isn't always the case in real life. Okay, let's give you some mushrooms. You'll only give him as many as he can actually eat. So now that he's full, let's just have him dig stuff up.
Dum-de-dum. Yeah.
You've got an item. And we're going to pick it up dramatically like we do everything. Why is it that whatever anything eats in this game is always something that they can't get for themselves, so that you have to get them for it?